Testing, testing. All right, guys. To be able to make this experience the best of all of you, I have my notepad here, of course, just so that I can cover everything. But I want to officially announce myself. I am Chayse. I'm a body worker specializing in erotic massage. And today we're going to have a little discussion about some of the interesting things of that. The first off, what I want to do is I want to talk about where I began, how I got into this kind of experience. I started off as a normal monogamous person in love with two women. And that kind of situation got me studying about sexology. And as I started studying sexology, I learned more things, and it just became a really interesting aspect of, you know, something to learn. And you can never know everything about sex, that's for sure. So, a few years later, I started dating a female sex worker, and she opened my eyes to the industry. And I wanted to naturally help people and have women have that opportunity to receive that kind of touch. So, forward a few more years later, I met a male that did erotic massage for men. And I thought, wow, there's no massage for women out here. So, I took it on myself. And for the last 5 years, I've been giving that kind of body work for women. And I just want to acknowledge the professionals in the industry as sexologists and therapists, and the skills and knowledge that they have is not something I have. Everything I do is from my own personal advice and experience in the years and the books that I've read to be able to give this best experience to women and couples. So, some of the services that are included are starting off with sensual erotic massage. What is sensual erotic massage? It's such a situational thing, right? It always depends on the person and how they feel, their comfortability, their every part about them. It's creating that experience for them. So, the first thing you want to do is create a really relaxing environment. Am I right, girls? You need somewhere that you feel safe, contained, someone that you can trust to be able to give you that kind of experience, because your mind is the number one thing. Am I right? 100%. So, including that, we're starting off with a very slow, deep, sensual massage, gaining that sort of confidence within me and my abilities to be able to get into a trance-like state, into the subconscious, so a lot of your worries and anxieties can leave your mind, so you can really relax. And when you do that, and you have a slow, intimate massage, you realize the erogenous zones on a woman through micro expressions of how their body's reacting to that touch. And you're able to really go into those erogenous zones and create a very relaxing erotic experience. So, going on to the next thing, we have learning how to receive touch. I have a lot of women clients that are learning to have that touch because they've been through an abusive relationship, trauma, you know, the list goes on, really. I mean, there's so many different things that can stop a woman from being able to receive touch. And having that kind of relaxed environment by paying for it gives her a sense of self-entitlement to receive for herself and not have to do anything for the guy, right? Because this is your time. This is about spoiling you. This is about you gaining your sort of confidence back in receiving touch from a male in that kind of situation. Another one is graduated exposure techniques. So with that one, we're graduating that exposure to the erotic part of the massage through a thing called sexual surrogacy. Sexual surrogacy is building up intimacy over time, very slowly, through consent, obviously, and you know, it might take a few bookings to get to an erotic massage, and that way you can actually really enjoy the experience. Another one is Safe and contained sexual exploration. Sometimes you've got some kind of erotic thing in your mind you want to experience that's not penetration, but you might not want to do with a partner or one night stand, and you want a safe environment to be able to do that with someone that is open-minded, non-judgmental, and able to give you that great experience you've always wanted before. Definitely something that's very hard to find sometimes. The next one is working on overcoming sexual dysfunctions. So it can be things like strain in your relationship, orgasm issues, it can be pain, it can be persistent recurring sexual issues, and sort of gaining that back again through touch and intimacy in that controlled space. One of those is vaginismus. I don't know if you've heard that one before, but vaginismus is an issue when a woman has a very tight vagina and sex is painful, and it's so common that by being able to use massage, we're able to get into their subconscious again and able to relax their whole mind and body. Because one thing with vaginismus is it could be medical, psychological, or certain drugs you're on and all that kind of stuff. So working with a sexologist, you're able to figure out whether it's one of those things. And I work on the mental side to be able to relax the mind, relax the body, to be able to receive penetration, you know, not through the penis, but other areas, other ways to receive penetration, to feel comfortable and not have that pain again. The next one is anorgasmia. Trying to pronounce that still.
Again, what was it?
Anorgasmia,
Yep.
something like that. I could just never pronounce it. It's one of those words.
You did well with vaginismus. That's a tongue twister.
Oh, that took me a few years for sure. But yeah, this one is a lack of or a diminishing orgasm. Okay, so it could be a fear response. It could be drugs. It could be a medical issue. So by then again, the same thing as the vaginismus is creating that relaxed environment to be able to get out of your mind and have that safe space so that you can have an increased orgasm, and using that as an exposure therapy to be able to better in the future. So I've worked with many range of clients, especially starting with disability. The disability sector is massive because you think about it. If you don't have control of your arms and legs, how are you ever going to be vulnerable to a male? How are you ever going to be able to defend yourself? What if you have a mental disability? You're not able to psychologically be able to say no, to be able to consent sometimes. And so working with a body worker is someone that is able to give you that first a bit of trust in a man again, well, for the first time possibly, or again, and be able to really, you know, once you've gained that trust in a male, you can be a bit more vulnerable to the next person. You may have learnt with me on what you do like and what you don't like, and you're able to communicate that better to another man in the future or a partner. Another one in the sector is couples. Couples are great. So sometimes as a couple, you may book a male in this field because you're interested in opening your relationship, okay? That's something maybe you've talked about, maybe it's been a hot fantasy in opening that relationship. But the good thing about booking an erotic massage is penetration isn't expected. No sexpectations, okay? And without sexpectations, you're able to enjoy those little parts of the massage you're not too sure about yet. Maybe you're not comfortable with having your woman touch somewhere. So you want to be able to have that experience in a paid scenario so you can say, actually, I'm not comfortable with that in opening this relationship or experiencing these kind of experiences. And you're definitely allowed to be able to say no, and you can talk together in the future of how you want to go about opening your relationship. Another one is couples again.
Hey Chase,
Yes,
can I ask a couple of questions?
go for it.
So, just throwing it out to the crowd here, whether you're in a male body or a female body, has anybody here ever experienced painful sex before? Hands up. Thank you for your vulnerability. I appreciate you being honest with that. Has anybody experienced in their life like a diminished orgasm or a struggle to be able to orgasm? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so what Chayse was always speaking into was like the ability to know your body better and to be able to have a facilitator to be able to guide you along the lines of being able to come back into your body and know your body a lot better.
Yeah. I'm a masseuse, not a speech person, but
But yeah, I was just curious to know, like...
definitely, same here.
As you're speaking, I was thinking about times where I've experienced painful sex, and I've experienced challenges with being able to orgasm. And the thing that's actually helped me to be able to navigate through that is to be able to have a guide by my side, to be able to help me through my body, to be able to ask questions, do you like this, harder, faster, softer, slower. Yeah, it's really
Definitely, man,
quite a
yeah.
good offering.
Yeah. Well, I'm nearly finished with these last things, and then we're going to get into a little bit more. But going into the couples again, the couples where the male partner has health issues, sometimes they're not actually able to touch their partner. Maybe they're in hospital. Maybe they're not mentally well. It could be many different reasons, and they could go years without feeling touched. And so this is a great space to enjoy that when your partner's in that situation, because there's no expectations. It's all about you receiving that touch. And the last couples one is couples where the partner isn't available. Maybe it's fucking COVID and you're away for 2 years in another country. Maybe you're FIFO. Maybe your partner's on a holiday for a while and you want to be able to have a bit of physical touch with their consent, and they're okay with you getting that by professional means. Another fun one is lesbians. Lesbians do book. Unfortunately, when people have been through, trauma and abuse as a child or older, they either go hypersexual, lesbian, or like non-sexual at all. And so sometimes it takes until someone is maybe in their 40s that they're able to, from the work they put in themselves and the therapist, they're able to be, put themselves in a situation with a male again. And in a controlled space, they have that in self-entitlement to receive, and it's in my best interest for them to have a good experience. We're going to go into a little bit of the erotic dance of receiving touch. And we named it the erotic dance of receiving touch because there's a lot of micro expressions in this, and there's a lot of reading the body language. Everyone is different, and everyone receives pleasure and touch differently. So, being able to, first off, the first thing is conscious, being very conscious of the way your partner is responding. They could be responding positively or negatively in any micro expression. So for example, if someone's clenching their toes, they might be feeling pain and not wanting to tell you because they want you to be enjoying it, and but being able to read those small things in somebody. Maybe their legs are closing and they're not feeling comfortable yet, or it's too cold. Maybe their legs are opening and they're really enjoying this and they want you to get it a little bit hotter and a little bit spicier. Their breathing, you could possibly feel their breathing on their chest if they're rolled over, and you can tell their heart rate. Are they beating fast? Are they beating slow? There's 1,000 different things. So it's called the erotic touch, receiving, the erotic dance of receiving touch, because it is like a dance. Because you're dancing around this massage, giving it to your partner, finding what works for them. And once you know what works for them, you're able to do it better the next time and the next time, and you're able to give them such an amazing experience. And that's definitely a part of the erotic part of receiving the massage. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go on to a couple of questions. If anyone has questions, me or the amazing host are happy to help a bit. So does anyone have any questions?
Alright, sexpo, coming up in 10 minutes on our main stage, we've got a lot of demos. Sexpo,
Come on, big Ray. I've got it. I'm on it. Come on.
we'll see you in 10 minutes. Is there any particular way that you start off each massage?
Well, of course it depends on the consent and abilities of the person, but generally starting off with a very slow, deep, sensual massage is probably the most common way. Sometimes we do deep breathing exercises to be able to ground ourselves, relax a little bit first, maybe connect, and then go into it. Depends on if they've got high anxiety or not. But yeah, that's the answer to that question. Any more questions, anyone?
I've got the expert up here on sensual bodywork.
No more questions?
Have you ever wanted to bring your partner into sensuality, and this is the time to ask the question?
Definitely. Any questions from the newbies?
Can I ask you a question, Chayse?
Yeah, of course.
Do you bring like breathwork into your sessions?
Bring what into?
Breathwork?
Breathwork, yeah. Sometimes I do deep breathing, just to ground ourselves, because I work with some clients with huge anxiety, and so doing anything we can to relax them first before they get on this table is awesome.
I think what I would really like to know is, sorry, we're competing with other boys at the moment, but like, could you give us an example of like the language that you use around consent during a session? Like, would you like it if would you like it if...
I think being able to read the body is obviously a key part. The law states around consent of how is their body reacting to what you're doing. Are they pushing away? Are they moving away? Are they showing distress? One question I mainly ask, especially to start with, is not what do you like, is what do you not like? And where do you not like being touched? Because those are much more important than where do you like being touched? Because you could say, oh, my whole body, like, but not my belly button. You know what I mean? Like, little things like that. Sometimes, if someone doesn't like their belly button being touched, that's going to totally take away their orgasm. Yeah.
Yeah, I find that really interesting factor, because if you wanted to give me a massage, I would say what would you like, I would often find it really hard to vocalise what I actually want, but it'd be really important to be able to say everywhere that I want to, that's one thing for me to be able to say to somebody, where do you want to be touched, and this is what you
It's definitely incredible. But to wrap this up, guys, there's just a couple of things that I'm doing at the moment. Is I'm just completed a course in hypnotherapy to be able to include hypnotherapy in sessions as well, to be able to really get into that mindset. And the last thing is bondage. It's an interesting one. It's not heard often, but it's incorporating bondage within massage. So some people use light restraints, maybe a little impact play, sensations of hot wax or cold items, and being able to include those in as well. So that's another thing I'm currently studying and offering. Otherwise, it's been amazing being able to get up on stage and be able to express what I love. And I really appreciate that you've been able to hang around and enjoy the conversation. Otherwise, yeah.
Where can people find you?
Yes, just over there on booth D20, I'm giving out free 10-minute massages for the rest of Sexpo to be able to promote what we do in the services and for people who are able to feel that sort of energy, that sort of giving energy. Yeah.
Want to find you online?
Yeah, we're perthcentralmassage.com.au, Perth Central Instagram. Yeah.
All right, round of applause for Chayse, everybody.
Thanks,
you so
guys.
much. Enjoy your weekend at Sexpo, my people. We're going to be getting kicked off at 2:30, so in 30 minutes.